Hi yogis, welcome to your evening flow. This is going to be a super gentle and juicy sequence to help you release all of the muscles in the body from whatever day you've had. You'll need something comfortable to wear and maybe even something quite warm, as we're not going to be building much heat in the body. I'd suggest 2 blocks. Of course, if you don't have blocks, 2 equally sized books or 2 cans, something that's going to help you bring the ground a little bit closer to you for some of the postures. So whenever you're ready, let's release your day. Come into child's pose on your mat.
Let's start in a wide-legged child's pose. So letting the knees come as wide as the mat, and then starting to walk the hands all the way down, allowing the forehead to come to the mat beneath us. Or taking one of your blocks or your books or your tin of beans underneath your forehead as support. Let's begin our practice by releasing the breath, so taking a full inhale through the nose, sighing the breath away. Let's take another inhale through the nose, sigh the breath away. Invite yourself to create an intention here, perhaps one filled with gratitude. It's easy at the end of the day to think of all the things that we could have done. So invite yourself to notice everything that you are doing. Appreciate every moment. When you're ready, allow the head to sway side to side on the mat, releasing all of the muscles in the eyebrows, releasing any frown that you might have kept from the day gone by, and finding space in the back of the neck. Take your time to rise up into tabletop. Your hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And work through cat-cow. So inhale, soften the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the tailbone down towards the ground, pull the belly in. Inhale, tailbone lifts, heart shines forward. Exhale, dome through the upper back, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. So just moving through these, or any free movement that feels right for you. So allow yourself to really absorb every little sensation moving through your body. Grateful for the opportunity to be with yourself, to be with your body, and to be in charge of your experience. Just taking the last final movements. Find your neutral spine again. Let's press the left hand down in towards the mat. And as you inhale, sweep the right hand all the way to the sky. Really reach tall with the fingertips. Exhale and release the right shoulder and the right side of the face to the mat. You can keep the left hand next to the face, or you can walk it all the way to the top of the mat as we find length all the way down the left side body. Invite yourself to be soft here, but don't relinquish control of the body completely. A gentle engagement of the belly keeps us structured and stable. Let's draw the left hand back towards us. Inhale, sweep the right hand back towards the sky. And then exhale to release to tabletop. Let's come to the other side. Left hand reaches, inhale to sky. Exhale. Find your thread needle. And right hand maybe walking all the way to the top of the mat. Just letting our jaw soften. And we have a tendency, when we're concentrating, to clench the jaw. So if you can let that go now. And start to rise back into tabletop. Left hand to sky. And then lower. Really find strong structure in your foundation. And then start to extend the right heel away from you. Keep the toes tucked to the mat. A little bit of length through the back of the leg, the right hip point turning down. And then start to bend into the right knee, keeping the right foot flexed. And we're going to make circles with the right leg. So this can feel super awkward. Often one direction feels really, really weird. And that's because it's the direction we don't normally work into. So just go with it. And then when you're ready, just take it in the opposite direction. And extend the right leg out again. And then draw the right knee all the way towards the nose and press the right foot in between the hands. Keep a little bit of a boxy shape in the legs to begin with as we reach the hands up towards the sky. The heart stacking over the hips. And see if we can take the hands around the outer edges of the elbows or forearms to shine the heart up and open through the backs of the triceps. And then from here, you can press the hips down as much as you like, as much as is available to you. Appreciating this new and open sensation in the front of the left leg. When you're ready, start to release, hands around the front foot and slide the right knee back to meet the left. So you're kind of in like a long tabletop here. As you exhale, lower the chest and the chin down towards the mat, keeping the hips high and the elbows squeezing in. Inhale, slide the weight into the hands, shine the heart forward, hips pressed to mat. Doing your cobra here. And then transition into Sphinx by sliding the hands forward, the elbows stacking underneath the shoulders. And feel free to make any movement with the head that you would like. But yogis, please be mindful. The neck, while strong, is also quite vulnerable, especially if we've been working at a desk. We're going to start to find a lot of tension and maybe a little bit of weakness in the back of the neck. So just be mindful of how you move. When you're ready, release down. We're going to find our way back into child's pose. Just take an inhale here, and exhale here. And then rise back into your tabletop. Once again, hands underneath shoulders, knees under hips. Let's extend the left leg out this time. The left heel energizing to the mat. Lots of length through back of left leg. Let's lift the left foot from the mat and then take a bend into the left knee. And again, you're going to make those circles. A few in one direction and then a few in the opposite. Again, don't worry if one direction feels super clunky. Just the brain having to work a little extra hard to understand what you're trying to do. And extend the left leg out. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, and then as lightly as you can, press that left foot in between the hands. Strong and stable through the left knee as we reach the hands to the sky. Either keeping the hands separate or taking the hands around the opposite forearms. We start to open through the backs of the triceps, shining the heart, lifting the gaze to a place that's comfortable, and then pressing the hips forward, again, as much as feels right for you. And please here, don't focus on your limitations. Your limitations are not important, and they are only a perceived aspect of your practice. Remember that we are here to celebrate the experience more than anything else. Release and find your way back to a long tabletop. As you exhale, lower the chest and the chin down. Inhale, scoop the weight forward, cobra. Hips plant down, heart rises slightly. Now take the fingertips wider than the mat, and as you inhale, press into the fingertips, start to lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back, exhale, pull the elbows in and lower down. 3 more times. Inhale, we rise, maybe coming a little bit higher. Exhale, we lower. Think really fluid movements. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we release. Last one. Inhale, shine the heart space, find space in collarbones. Exhale and lower. Hands underneath the shoulders. Let's press back into our downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Now find that foundation. Hands at shoulder width distance. Feet at hip width distance. The head nice and heavy. And any little movements that you want to make. Just to settle back into the body. To take control. And take ownership of everything that feels right and good in your physical vessel. When you're ready, come up to the toes, soften the knees, look forward, and make your way to the top of the mat. Let the feet arrive at hip width distance. Take an inhale, lift halfway, hands at shins or thighs or floor. Exhale and lower down. Ragdoll. Hands around the elbows or hanging to the mat if that's more comfortable for you. And this really juicy, soft sway side to side. Think less about lengthening hamstrings and more about releasing the top half of the body. Release the hands down now. Plant the feet to the mat. We're going to find a little twist. I would recommend definitely taking a block or a book under your left hand. Bend into the left knee and sweep slowly the right hand up towards the sky as we twist the chest to the right hand side. Now that right knee can have a gentle bend in it as we try to avoid locking the leg. The gaze can come high. We're energized but really soft. Exhale, lower. We're going to swap it over. Right hand to the block in the middle of the mat. Big juicy bend into the right knee. Left hand sweeps to sky as we inhale. And it's that bend into the right knee that's going to help you find the twist in the thoracic spine, so twist in the middle section of the spine. As you exhale, just lower it down. You can pop the block to one side. Keep that soft bend into the knees. Take a little halfway lift and fold again. Now, interlace the fingers behind the back of the occipital bone, the base of the skull, and almost create this tucking sensation of the chin to chest by adding a little bit of weight to the back of the head. Now keep the knees bent and slowly uncurl to standing, as though we're rising up vertebra by vertebra until we stand tall. And we invite a little bit of length through the back of the neck by lifting the head with the hands. And a gentle back bend is invited if that feels right for you. When you're ready, Release the hands either side of the body, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. And allow the shoulders to roll up, back and down a couple of times. Find Tadasana, mountain pose, hands either side, palms facing forward. Reconnect with your intention. Inhale, sweep hands to sky, lifting the gaze, reaching tall. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And start to heel toe the feet out to the widest edge of the mat for Malasana. So sinking the seat down. Now you can be on the toes here. You can have a little wiggle side to side. You can find any movement that you might need so that you can really enjoy this pose. Kind of yoga heaven or yoga hell. So do whatever you need to make it enjoyable. If stillness works for you, be still. The hands in prayer at heart center. We create this little bit of uplift in the posture by pulling the belly back towards the spine and then allowing the shoulders to be heavy away from the ears. When we're ready to release, we plant the hands and we take the hips back to the sky. Folding forward and then rising halfway, inhale. Exhale, place the hands down, step back to your high plank and lower through your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, weight comes forward into the hands, shine the heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, find downward facing dog. And just take any little movements that you might need here. So a sway of the head or any adjustments to the foundation of your pose to feel sturdy. Let's take the right foot to the sky and keep the right foot flexed, almost like you can see the toes pointing down towards the mat. And then start to rise onto the ball of the left foot. With this rise of the heel, maybe the right foot can come a little bit higher. Now keep that high and lower the left heel down slowly. You'll see the sensation starts to arrive in the back of the hamstring. Let's pull the right knee forward and land the right foot around the outside of the right hand for lizard. So the left knee is going to come down and you can untuck the left toes if that feels good for you. You have lots of options here. You can stay on the hands. You can take blocks underneath the hands to give yourself a little bit of height to kind of bring the ground closer to you. If you feel very happy here, you can come down onto the forearms. See if we can focus on finding space in the front body, so rolling the shoulders back rather than trying to curl forward. So this is all about space here today. And once again, we return to the intention of this practice. So if this is a pose that presents a lot of challenge to you, see if you can focus on the breath. You can savor the sensation of the inhale and the exhale. Start to find your way out of the pose. Take your time. It can be really, really deep. We're going to plant the hands to the mat, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and then just step back with the right foot to high plank. The hips are going to shift up and back, downward facing dog. It's slightly different on the left side. Join the toes to touch at the back of the mat. And then inhale, take the left foot to the sky. And take a big bend into the left knee and then roll the left knee to the sky so the hips start to open. Left hip stacking on top of the right. A nice long inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to pull the left knee towards the back of the left wrist. Shuffle down. Take any support you might need, so maybe a block underneath the left thigh. You can start just by finding space, keeping the heart high, and you can stay there. Or you can start to walk the hands out in front of you, coming into a forward fold. So this is essentially a counter posture to counter the sensation of lizard. If it feels good, stay. Or you can thread needle here. Right arm coming underneath the left armpit. And the right side of the head relaxing to the mat. If you want to take it even further, the left hand can wrap behind the back of the body and hook on top of the left toes, or just rest at the base of the spine. Take your time to make your way out of your pigeon, to remove the props and find your way back into downward facing dog, where you can wiggle out the legs as much as you need to. On your inhale, let's take the left foot to the sky with the left foot flexed, and then come right up onto the ball of the right foot. Now again, see if that left heel can get a little bit higher, and keeping it there, we lower the right heel down. Again, be gentle, the sensation is strong. Let's pull the left knee forward, the left foot lands around the outside of the left hand. We find a lizard, so the right knee lowers to the mat. So you know this now, yogis. You can take any support that you need under the hands to maybe bring the ground to you, or maybe come right down onto the forearms. We have again maybe 30 seconds or so here. Keep the breath full and free. Value and honor whatever you receive in this moment from the practice. Start to find your way slowly out of the pose. We tuck into the right toes, lift the right knee, and again step back into your high plank, and then from high plank, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Join the big toes at the back of the mat, and then lift the right foot up and back, bend into the right knee, and allow the hips to shine open. Keep pressing evenly down through the hands, the shoulders level. On your exhale, start to draw the right knee forward, land it behind the right wrist, and again shuffle down into your pigeon, whatever variation you would like to come into, whatever support you need to add. You know we have time here, so enjoy the journey as well as the posture itself. Begin to find our way out of the posture once again, taking our time, enjoying the little micro movements. We're going to come to seated though, so remove any support under the right side, roll over onto the right sit bone and swing both legs out in front of you. Keep a little bend into the knees here. We come to Tadasana, bound angle. The blocks or the books or the cans, whatever you're using, can be really helpful here to support the outer thighs. So I take them just a little bit wider than the mat and then let the knees part to either side. It may feel enough to keep the spine long, sitting tall, or you may want to take it into a forward fold. If so, journey with care. Use the hands to support you at whatever point you come down. We have time again here. So remember, you don't have to come into your fullest expression of the pose. You can almost slowly invite that to evolve as time goes by. You let the head be heavy and supported by the rest of the body. Try to find that ease. And in this forward fold with the chest and the back of the body free, let the inhale fill the whole of the top half of the body. And let the exhale release you a little further into the pose. Take your time rising out. Draw the knees back towards one another and the feet at mat width distance. You can just sway the knees from side to side. A really lovely way to release the hips after quite a hip heavy sequence. Keep that bend into the knees and take the hands around the front of the shins. Almost like a C shape in the spine, we roll all the way down towards the mat. You can keep the hands around the legs to support your journey so it's smooth. And then pull the feet just a little bit closer to the seat so that we can press into the feet and lift the hips to the sky. We slide one of our props underneath our sacrum. So that is the bit where the pelvis meets the spine. It's this beautiful, big, bony part that I feel was just made for a yoga prop. You keep the hands either side of the body, or you can take them overhead. And this may very well be enough for you. If you want to take this further, so it's not just an extension in the spine, but an opening of the hip flexors, then you can extend the legs out. But if there is any pinching in the spine, please just take it back a notch. If you would really love an inversion, and I mean a really soft inversion here, we're going to bend back into the knees and almost elevate them towards the sky so the feet are lifted. And then the feet rise all the way to the ceiling as well. So we come to Viparita Karani, legs in the air or waterfall with that block support. So if you are with me in legs in the air, allow a softness into the knees. Let the feet be really relaxed. See if you can soften through the chest, through the jaw. The benefits of this are to kind of calm you as we drain all of the lymph and other fluids from the leg. We also allow the tension to drain. As we allow the heart to come higher than the head, we immediately begin to soothe the nervous system. And we begin to essentially prepare for rest. Wherever you are, start to release it down so that we come onto the back of our bodies. They're removing the block and allowing the spine to slowly ripple back down to the mat, vertebra by vertebra. A little sway of the knees side to side may feel good. Help to release the lower spine. We'll extend the left leg away from us. Pull the right knee into the chest. Give it a little squeeze. And then pop the right foot on the front of the left thigh. We're going to use the left hand to draw the right knee over to the left-hand side and extend the right arm at shoulder height. You can let the head sway softly to the right. See if you can notice this length right from the crease of the right hip all the way to the right side of the chest. So you just sit and marinate in this sensation. Taking it whenever you're ready to the other side. Left knee into chest. Left foot rests on top of the right thigh. And the right hand guides the left knee over to the right hand side. Again, if comfortable, the head will tilt to the left. Rising back up to center. Take any final movements that you might need. Any final wiggles. The Shavasana is ready for you if you are ready for it. And yogis, take up space. Take support or a blanket for warmth. Get heavy. Spill off the mat. Let's take a long inhale through the nose. Sigh the breath away. Let's take one more. Inhale through the nose. Sigh the breath away. Allow your awareness to come to every part of the back of the body that is connected to the mat. And invite each part, without straining, to get heavier. Enjoying the sensation of weary muscles softening to the floor beneath you. Gratitude has a way of bringing us into the present moment, allowing us to be with what is. We are no longer chasing after the future or lingering somewhere in the past. We are content in this moment before us. Our gratitude now for the stillness, for the rest. and the toes. Find gentle movement in them and let it grow to circles of the feet and the hands, the ankles and the wrists. Take the hands overhead. Allow a full body stretch before bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a cuddle, well deserved. And take your time to roll over onto your preferred side. And then with eyes closed or your gaze staying soft, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Allow your hands to come to prayer at heart center, a seal of our practice. Offer yourself a final moment of gratitude for coming to your mat today, for being with yourself. My name is Katie Oriel. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.